Hi. So this month is March Book Madness month, where you guys read the books that are considered some of the best of the year. They're here in the library on this March Madness display. And then each week you vote for the winners, and books get eliminated until you are down to just one. And so today I want to read for you the opening chapter of the book, The Lion of Mars by Jennifer L. Hull. Chapter 1, Nest. The trip to Mars was the hardest thing they'd ever experienced. That's what the grown-ups said. The small, cramped ship, the constant fear of something going wrong, the knowledge that they could never return to Earth. But honestly, it sounded like a cakewalk compared to sharing a bedroom with Albie, because he snored. I hadn't had a decent night's sleep since Albie started bunking with me. I tried just about everything to block the noise. Earplugs, sleeping under the blanket, even a thick hat with ear flaps, but none of them worked. It was surprising because Albie was perfect. He was easygoing and did his chores without complaining. Of all us kids, he was the least likely to throw a fuss. The grown-ups trusted him, even Cy. But it turned out there was one thing Albie wasn't good at: sleeping quietly. And I didn't know which was worse, Albie snoring or Trey wanting to change rooms. For as long as I could remember, Trey had slept in the bed across from mine. My drawings of cats and his drawings of aliens had papered the walls. Our plastic models crowded the shelves together. Then, 2 months ago, Trey suddenly asked to switch rooms. Next thing I knew, Trey was sleeping across the hall in the older kids' room with Vera and Flossie, while Albie was snoring in mine. And me? I wasn't sleeping at all. Neither was Leo from the looks of it. The old cat was sitting up in bed, flicking his tail in annoyance. This room-switching thing had happened once before, back when Trey and I were little. The grown-ups had moved us boys into one room and the girls into the other. Albie was older than me and Trey, so he was allowed to stay up later. The problem was that Albie would make a lot of noise when he came to bed, and he'd wake us up. The experiment was abandoned after a week. Now, all these years later, Albie was keeping me awake again. Across the room from me, Albie let out a loud, waffling snort. I groaned, pulling the pillow over my head. "Albie," I said. He didn't move. "Albie!" I shouted. He sat up abruptly, looking around the dimly lit room in confusion. Albie was tall, with broad shoulders. Darby said he would have made a good football player. Football was an earth game, where you threw around a ball and knocked into people. I didn't really understand it. "What's wrong, Belle?" Albie said, his hair sticking out crazily everywhere. It was always funny to see him without his Dodgers ball cap. He only took it off at bedtime. "You're snoring," I said. "Oh," he said. "I thought there was an emergency." "It is an emergency. I can't sleep." "I'm sorry, Belle," he mumbled and lay back down. "I promise not to snore any more." It was hard to be angry at Albie. He was kind of gentle, a big teddy bear when it came right down to it. A big, snoring teddy bear. "Ah, dust it," I muttered. Albie could have left the room to himself. I grabbed my blanket and left, Leo padding after me. Not that I blamed him. Even a cat couldn't take Albie's snoring. And that's the start of The Lion of Mars. Come check it out in the library when we get back to school.